This is a botanical description for tomato. Tomato are their scientific name, which is a Solanula copersicate, is a flowering plant of the nightshade family and cultivated intensively for its edible fruits. The tomato is a fruit that are grouped from berries that can be vary in diameter between 1.5 to 7.5 cm or more. The tomato fruit shape is a globular or ovate. Botanically, the fruit exhibit all of the common characteristics of a berry, like a simple fleshy fruit that can enclose its seed in the pulp. The outer skin is a thin and also a fleshy tissue that comprise the remainder of the fruit wall as well as the placenta. Okay, we can look here. This is an exocarp, which is the outer skin of a tomato. And this is the mesocarp, which is the fleshy interior of the tomato. And this one is the seed of a tomato. So, we move to another slide, which is the propagation method. The propagation method that used for tomato is by cutting. Growing tomato plants from cutting is the easier than growing from the seed. There are several steps that we need to follow in order we want to propagate the tomato by cutting. Like, take the cutting with a sharp knife, cut several strong side shoots from your tomato plant and make sure the cutting should be healthy and its length should be 4 to 6 inches from the point you cut to the top of the smaller leaf. Next is, we put the cutting into the routine hormone powder and then transfer to the small pot, bed or small size of polybag. Next, we move to another slide which is about male and also female flower of tomato. As we know, tomato flowers are monoecious. That is, each flower is both male and also female. The flowers are pollinated by insects like bees, but can even be pollinated by the wind. Hand pollination or pollination using purchased hive of bumblebee is resorted to when tomatoes are grown in a pollinator-free and also wind-free greenhouse. Next, we move to the slide which is the clone and also variety of tomato. Tomato variety can be divided into categories based on shape and also size. The common variety of tomato like beefsteak tomato, plum tomato, and also cherry tomato. Okay, we move detail each of the category of the variety in tomato. Firstly, beefsteak tomato. Beefsteak tomato are 10 cm or more in diameter, often used for sandwich and similar application. Their kidney shaped bean, thinner skin and a shorter shelf life make commercial use impractical. Next, we move to the plum tomato or paste tomato. Plum tomato or paste tomato are bred with a lower water or higher solid content for use in tomato sauce and also paste for canning and sauce, and are usually oblong 7 to 9 cm long and also 4 to 5 cm diameter like the Roma type tomato. And the important cultivar in the Sacramento Valley. Okay, the other variety of tomato is cherry tomato. Cherry tomato are small and also round and often sweet tomato, about same 1 to 2 cm size as the white tomato. Okay, we move to Another slide which about the environmental condition for planting tomato. Tomato, which is like cupersicum, that has failed to produce any fruit. It's because the temperature extreme, excess nitrogen, excess fertilizer and also dry soil are the main cause for lack of fruit set or fruit drop. For tomato, the time temperature that are suitable are between 70 to 18 degrees Fahrenheit and night temperature between 16 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit are ideal for planting the tomato plant.
Okay, for planting system, we need to prepare we need to make the land preparations. There are few steps that we need to follow if you want to grow tomatoes using polybag. First, we must prepare the tomato seeds. Second is seeding seeds. Okay, seeding seed is needed before we plant tomato seedling into the planting medium. We must prepare the seed media in form of mixture of soil and compost with ratio 1:1. After the seedling media is finished, you plant the seed by sowing tomato seed into the surface of the seedling. Then you cover them with thin layer of soil so that the seed can grow perfectly. This is plant life cycle for tomato, from sowing sowing until harvesting time. From early growth, vegetative, flowering, fruit formation, and mature fruiting. For distance between the tomato plant, the shape can be seed bed nursery shelf, or polybag seedling. For the nursery bed, create an array above the bed to depth of 1 cm and 5 cm spacing between lines. Then, planting tomato seed in each array with a distance of 3 cm close surface and plus days. For nursery, use the polybag with media content nursery. If no one can use the polybag nursery bag of leaf, then immerse the tomato seed 1 cm depth into the medium. Then cover the surface and flush this each polybag quite filled one seed. How to plant tomato? There's 4 steps to plant tomato. First, select the seed. Organic seed for recommendation. Organic seed is much better. Prepare the container for planting. Fill the container with potting soil. Plant the tomato seed. Make a 1/4 each furrow in the potting mix. Then sprinkle 2 to 3 seeds into the furrow and cover them with sprinkling of potting mix. Gently pat down the mix so the seed can good contact care for the tomato seedling. Keep your tomato seedling warm and moist and provide them with light. Preferably grow light with the soil. You can spray the surface with water if they doesn't feel moist. Okay, for farm management, for fertilization, we must schedule how to apply the fertilization. For tomatoes should be first fertilized when you plant them in the garden. Then you can wait until the set fruit for start fertilizing again. After the tomato plants start growing fruit, add only light fertilizer once every 1 to 2 weeks until the first frost kill the plant. For pruning process, once your plant are established and start to produce fruit, remove the non-fruiting branch from the bottom of your tomato. Next, pluck any tiny sucker you find in the crotch of your plant. Okay, for disease management, rotate your crops with many tomato pathogen live in the soil. Plant tomatoes in a different spot in the garden each year. Pinch off the leaf with any sign of disease immediate and dispose them in the trash to keep a possible infection from spreading. Don't work in the garden when tomato foliage is wet, or you may inadvertently spread pathogens from plant to plant. Choose disease-resistant varieties when selecting which type of tomatoes to grow. Remove all the diseased tomato plant debris at the end of the growing season and burn and toss it in the trash. Do not put diseased foliage in the compost pile. Okay, for the pest management. Okay. For the harvest, this one is for harvesting. When to harvest, how to harvest tomato. For how to harvest tomato, fruit harvest time. Tomato will occur at the end of the growing season, usually late summer, once the tomatoes are the mature green stage. How to process, wash and dry tomato harvest before storing, unless you're planning to store your tomato for a week, or with the window sill, countertop or bowl work fine. If you know you won't use them in a few days, then lower temperature will help preserve the fruit. Okay, example farm in Malaysia is Greenworld Genetic. Greenworld Genetic, founded in 2007, total fruit value chain organization producing tropical hybrid seed with the objective of improving agricultural productivity. Product supplied by GWG include commercial seed, home garden product, and fresh product. Okay, the risk of this farm usually by increasing competition for land and water resource for industrial and urban growth, climate change, and the need to protect the environment. Solutions are needed to increase agricultural productivity to combat hunger and poverty. That's all from us. Thank you.